Alright guys, welcome to Technostalgia. From last week I've been using my iPhone 4S from 2011 and it's been pretty interesting. Things that this iPhone can do is pretty basic. It's not a lot of things that you can do on this phone. This phone has 3.5-inch display. The camera is pretty basic. It has 8 megapixel camera, 512 MB RAM, and it's a 1432 milliamp hour battery. It's a good specifications for the time it was released. This phone still has ringer silent switch, which is removed now in iPhone 15 series. This used to be a very big thing back then. It has this nice sound. It is running on iOS 9.3.5, which is really old, and they still keep updating these, but there's not much you can do on this phone. Anytime you want to install an app, it just tells you that it's not eligible with this phone anymore. So apps like YouTube, Netflix, any kind of gaming doesn't really work on it. Surprisingly, I've found that you can still install VLC player on it, but not really sure what to do with that. Oh, in this operating system, Apple still have that videos app. You have your videos separately instead of just another tab in the music app itself. There's nothing much you can do on this phone. Another cool thing about this phone is this was the phone when Apple introduced front camera and people went crazy for it. In comparison to iPhone 3GS, Apple replaced their plastic bodies with a back glass panel. I remember people asking me about that how did even Apple manage to put a higher technology in even a small casing. So if you want to use this phone, it's good enough for making calls, text messages, iMessages, FaceTime, and listening to music. The best thing about this phone that it still has this 3.5mm headphone jack where you can still plug in your old school headphones, but it works perfectly fine with my AirPods. The only thing is it don't have that seamless connection tabs where on an iPhone 14 Pro you can just connect it easily. You have to go into the Bluetooth settings and then find your AirPods and then just manually pair them. That's what you get in 2011. It still has that weird old control center how it all started. I'm so used to using my iPhone 14 Pro control center that pops up from top that in this phone that I accidentally opened the notification center while looking for the control center. So while I pull up the control center from the bottom, I'm so used to turning on the low power mode from the control center that this is a little bit of inconvenience back then, that you have to go into settings and then you have to go into battery and then you have to turn on the low power mode. Back then it was such a big feature that nobody really cared about. It was like brand new feature that it was, even if it was like inconvenience for us to go into settings and just turn it on. After switching from 14 to 4S for a few days, then I have realized that they have really made the improvement from 4S to 14, and it's a really big improvement. In so if anyone of you wants to use iPhone 4 in 2024, there's not much you can do. It's pretty much just a basic phone where you can just make basic phone calls and text messages and play music. There's nothing much you can do. They have removed the compatibility for all the apps from this operating system. So iOS 9, all the like early generations of iPhone, iPad, they're still running on iOS 9. So iOS 9 is pretty much not compatible with any of the newer versions of app. So if you have a device that's this old, it's just a classics. You can't use it anymore. Well, thank you for watching this video. It was fun getting back that nostalgic feel, and I hope you like this video.